Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Oh, we got people already talking.
Javier's already in here.
Of course, Javier is here.
Of course. And Max, too.
Listening in on the YouTubes.
I do think the YouTube is a bit more successful than the Facebooks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Usually-
Facebook gets a little more drive-by traffic,
Yeah.
but the YouTube has certainly better video quality.
Oh, yeah. And the chat is way better in YouTube, I think.
Is it
When I look at it, like the Facebook chat is always kind of like disjointed because most people are on YouTube, so it doesn't come through as like restream or what, like,
Yeah.
repost.
That's why I do the overlay because otherwise people don't even get to see it.
I see. Hello, sirs.
Oh,
Hello,
Max. There's 2 R's in Gary, by the way. Usually quick to point that out.
Yeah. Bob McCracken. Dustin, Crystal, hello, dear. John Ammons, hello, sir. Tom, good to see you.
Tom Hollandby.
Tom, I like that guy.
I don't,
No,
but it's okay.
it's okay.
For his birthday, I called him Old Godzilla or something like that. And he started calling me names. I don't like him anymore.
Tom just did me a solid. He hooked me up with Jared Markle over at Student of the Gun for
Yeah.
Bulletin, and so I had a really awesome call today with them. And Tom's an all right guy.
If you say so.
I mean, maybe he has questionable ideas on sling use.
Well, maybe they're questionable.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, someone's questioning them, not me.
True.
No, or the other 2 guys at this table.
Well, Bob McCracken has given up his identity. I figured out who he is. He's from New Jersey.
From the Jersey, yeah.
So I guess we got some folks in here.
I suppose.
Tonight's live chat brought to you by bulletin.net.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Give somebody the credit.
That guy.
I
Yeah.
got a brand new shirt to wear for it.
Yeah.
I guess it's this way.
Shirt, the Tremis Dynamics limited edition shirt.
The blue and yellow.
The only time that shirt will ever be in yellow. Yeah, it seems to be pretty popular. People like it.
When are you cutting off the blue and yellow orders?
It'll be Friday. Maybe I'll give it a weekend if there seems to be demand for it. But
We're just waiting for that payday.
yeah, I think one we'll be at the end of it by Friday.
Oh, Matt White, thanks for the well wishes. I do feel a little better.
I took good care of him. I really comforted him. And yeah,
Comforts with Sonny.
yes,
Plank
Yes.
owner student right here.
that's right.
Yeah, you had all types of people giving you love. Making sure that you're doing okay.
Yeah, I guess. Mike drove me up some TLC. Call it that, TLC.
Sure.
Mhm. We're not going to give it like it's pharmaceutical name, right?
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
we could, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble there.
It was Advil.
Advil, yes.
Yeah.
Applied rectally.
Yes.
I mean, they said it gets in your bloodstream quicker.
That's
That
true.
Right.
Yeah. Through funnels.
way. We put it in the gerbil's mouth and said, you take it in.
I'll be here waiting for you when you get out.
yeah.
It's already devolving. Oh, Zach is in the house. Scott Wexler, hello, sir. Missed you this weekend, Scott.
I was just talking to Scott today. He was like, "Hey, you want to go to this explosives class with me in Western Pennsylvania?" And I said, "What type of fucking question is that?"
It's a silly question.
Yes,
Of course I do.
the answer is always yes. But we have Jay here that weekend in November.
That's the thing that I had on my list.
Yep.
Oh, Shinde's in the house.
Shinde, how you doing? Long time no see, brother.
Haven't you seen him for like 10 days in a row now? That
Something
dude.
like that, man. I mean,
I think he's got a crush.
he has a crush.
Maybe.
I kind of like the guy too.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Darker skin.
Yeah. He's tall.
He's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Successful.
He's got the tall, dark, and he's got the tall and dark. Yeah, for sure. He's got those.
Yep. And money.
And
Yeah.
you can get rid of the handsome if you got the money.
Sure.
Tall,
all-
dark, and moneyed.
Well, I don't know. He's successful. Definitely successful.
The guy can shoot.
And yeah, he's okay. He's pretty good. He's way better than I am.
I don't know about all that. He's still got another day to go, so
yeah,
don't blow his ego out of proportion too much.
Scott Wexler, too much fucking adulting. See, man, you have to address that. Go get a prescription from too much adulting, and deal with it. Oh, see, Shinday just
Look how he goes. Damn, he's harsh.
I know. It must be after those 10 days with me, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So this dude is blue because he's paired on your channel.
Yeah. So Scott is one of my oldest friends ever. Actually, I mentioned him in my first video on YouTube. He's the guy who turned me on to Jaeger, and I mean, kind of put me on a path to be in this room right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So apparently he was watching Daylight's End.
Well, cool. I appreciate that. I don't make any,
no residuals.
No residuals from you watching, but I appreciate that. Another guy watching me die. I mean, makes me.
Don't ruin it for me. I've never seen it.
There are.
What kind of fucking ideas you have? I'm gonna live gloriously to the end of the movie and walk into a sunset.
Action movie
on a horse
with a token Russian. The token Russian dies
every time.
Okay, so yeah, we were discussing beforehand what the token Russian is in a movie. It's the guy who dies.
He who dies.
Yeah.
Stoic, a little bit
doesn't
mystical.
Speak much.
Yeah.
He takes. You know what defines the token Russian? Stab wounds with no effect. You ever notice that? Like whenever there's a Russian in a movie, like they get stabbed a bunch, they never seem to they look at it and like pull it out and go, all right, that didn't work.
Yeah, it's stabbing is for Westerners, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's good gun work in it.
I'm gonna let people speak about that. Yeah, I just create that shit, but I don't say that it's.
I'll refrain from commenting on the gun work until I go back and watch it and see how the sling is used, because apparently that's critical.
Well, according to interwebs now, it's yeah.
Everyone knows about shrapnel. Is that a movie? TV show? I don't know.
I think Shrapnel is the new movie from. Isn't that the one from Will Kaufman, or is it something else, Holiday?
There's a short delay. It'll take him like 20 seconds to hear it.
Well, it's going to take longer because he's Asian.
Oh yeah. Because he reads the wrong direction, right? Or they go up and down. I don't remember.
It's vertical text, I guess.
Yeah,
it depends.
I guess what kind of Asian it is really is the question.
There is a lot of microfilm where Russians are involved in movies.
Well, they're a little behind the times. They don't have digital stuff yet. They've still got the little camera that goes. I've seen it on TV. You can't argue.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's on TV, it's how it is. Yeah.
Microfilm is, I'm predicting a comeback, honestly.
But we were watching something recently on TV, and my son was watching it with me, and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't have those records digitized yet. They're still down in the basement on microfiche." And he was like, "The hell is that?"
Oh, so when Halaby's saying that, okay, now I get it. Yeah, apparently
it's the movie trailer.
Oh,
apparently there's definitive
Defiant
munitions in it.
Yes, now I remember. Now I'm tracking where he's going.
Yeah, Pete made that post where it was the trunk full.
Yeah. He just sent me a link, and he goes, "Check this out." And it's the trailer. And I was like, "Hey, wait a minute.
If
back up.
If your shit makes it into trailer, you made it, man.
Yeah.
Not just the movie; it's in the trailer.
Yeah. It's like cream of the crop of the movie.
Exactly.
The trailer, right?
Filled the entire screen, like Defiant boxes everywhere. It's like Gary asked, he's like, "Watch this trailer. Tell me what you think." No context, no hint about what I'm supposed to be looking for. I'm like staring at all the gun stuff, like trigger fingers, and just making sure that because I'm betting there's like some ridiculous shit.
I know,
here.
right? I introduce the people. I go like, "Hey, Mr. Director, this is the good ammunition guy. This ammunition guy. If this director does something, we send him something, And then apparently piss off everyone from the movie industry so much I no longer deal with any directors or any movies.
They don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna step back and watch things. So cool.
Well, I guess we could probably get to the main topic of the evening.
I suppose. After 10 minutes of
Yeah.
talking about nothing.
About nothing. Well, I mean, Pete shit's good to talk about.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have any topics, and nobody asked any questions. So we thought we'd start with talking about last weekend's all hands muster, and see if people then had questions. It was a good turnout. You guys were at the first one. I think we could agree it was a improvement.
I'd say not just improvement. I'd say attendance-wise, it was probably close to double, if not through that double.
There was a lot more folks.
Quality-wise, it was. I mean, I'm not saying first one was, but it did feel a little disjointed in that sense.
Yep.
I mean, the one this past weekend was awesome, man.
Yeah,
And I'd like to take all the credit for talking to every instructor and what their subjects were, and then mapping it out. But I sent an email that said, "What is the title of your subject of your presentation?" I just want to make sure that nobody's doing the same thing. And then I didn't really map it out until the morning of, and I went, Mike's going first. And I looked around and went, Matt's going second, and then Jerry, and by then maybe it'll be lunch.
And then we'll figure out after lunch.
After lunch.
Yeah, we just know that we have to hold a Russian to the very end so he doesn't piss off people early in the day.
Well, yeah, we can't do that.
No.
Well, I figured the feelings would be hurt, and they'd be like, I don't. If this is how they start, I don't want to be my soul to be crushed by the end of the day.
Yeah, I thought this year was. I mean, for an event like this to go from the first year, which, and this isn't me talking bad about the first year, but finding its way, we'll call it. I mean, it's the first year, right? Like, okay, the venue was a little small. We didn't understand how many people would come, what type of training blocks there would be, and then to year 2, finding Mainville and that classroom and having the space for vendors and bringing in the lunch truck and having enough space to do live fire stuff and it was just like everything fit.
The pieces fit.
Everything fit perfect.
Real well.
For year 2.
Yeah.
Like I'm super excited already for year 3. Like where it goes next.
I think I'm going to schedule the dates with the club at the next club meeting, which like 2 weeks. It's like the 3rd Thursday of every month.
Yeah.
I think I'll go and see if we can't snag the first weekend in August next year. I think we're early enough that nobody else will have it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go from there. And what I'm thinking is for all of you guys out there thinking about maybe traveling, we did this year and we did it last year where Sonny and I both had classes squeezed on either side of the muster. We moved around who was first and second and this time versus last year. But I'm thinking next year of having not me at all, so that I can focus more on organizing the muster and having 2 of the presenters sandwich the muster.
Maybe even 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe
depending
one
what the
can do
subjects
something
are.
Here, something there. People may have choice because if I were a betting man, you're probably going to double attendance the next year. Because the way this went this year, man, I tell you, first year it was more like how would I say it? Not that it's bad in any way, shape, or form, but like informal gathering of buddies and shooting shit over the fire. You know what I mean? This year it was like organized conference of people that are there. They want to be there and they want to talk about shit that we're talking about. So yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, I thought it. I agreed. I think that if the people that were there share their experience, we'll jump a lot in attendance next year.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe having 3 instructors sandwich.
Think about it.
And I have a secret guy in mind that I'm going to talk to who would not need a live fire range to do his classes, but can still do them at Sugarloaf. So we might be able to have live fire and non-live fire happening at the same time.
The secret guy that just departed this morning?
Nope. Somebody else. That's why I didn't mention it, because I haven't even spoken to him about it.
No, just put him on blast right here on a live stream.
Everyone's expecting you to be there.
No pressure, Bubba.
I thought about it today when I was driving home, and I was like, I should talk to him, but I want to have a date before I talk to him.
Yeah.
Any hints?
You know him.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't. That's not a small group of people.
You might know him.
Okay, we'll talk later.
I know you know him because we met him on the same day.
Now I'm going to be thinking about this the rest of the live chat.
That's all he's going to be thinking about.
Suffering for the next 45 minutes. I know, Mike.
It'd be awesome if that fella was watching the live chat and just commented and said, "Ooh, me, I'll come." I know he has watched some of my videos before, so maybe.
It could be no, because I met TJ before I met you, so we didn't meet him on the same day. It's gonna be a list.
Okay. What did Raj just say? Mustard was more thought-provoking than college was. Damn, I'm glad I didn't present anything.
And that dude
That dude has brains.
He went to for a degree in
So biology?
Yeah, it's like microbiology or like smart stuff. So smart that I can't comprehend the degree.
Yeah.
Or the field of study. That's pretty high praise. I mean, like, and this is the fun part about like what the muster was, because there was a lot of like talking blocks of instruction, but it was a thinking conference. Like everything from what Matt said about like taking care of yourself,
Nutrition.
yeah.
Yep.
What Jerry said about taking care of your team, to what Sonny ended with like, hey, you need to make yourself more brutal. Like, it was very much a thinking man's day.
It was.
You know what's cool to watch? That actually even people that not part of per se, our circles, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that came from the club
Didn't know any of us.
They didn't
before
know
that.
any of us. They had no idea what this is really about. What kind of personalities presenters are, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man, they were engaging with people during the breaks. I watched everyone like picking people's brains, asking questions, sitting down, like really picking brains, not like, so where do you live? None of that bullshit.
What's your favorite caliber?
Yeah, on the topic, man.
Mhm.
And then watching some of them actually come to the class out of the blue, signing up
Yeah.
for the class immediately, and jumping on the deep end of the pool.
Yeah,
It's really cool to watch.
I was
man.
pleasantly surprised to find when you told me about that fella, who we won't name because we're not advertising this shit on the internet, but he was a club member, did not know any of us, and came to the muster and then signed up for your pistol class starting on Monday.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, damn. Well, Sonny made a fucking impact on him. Like, and that's not like the shallow end of the training pool. No.
It's more like jumping into Blackwater, yeah. But I think overall, the quality of people that was there and the subject matter that was chosen for presentations, it wasn't, it wasn't glorious things. It wasn't tactical,
how to set up your plate carrier,
tactical dress up bullshit.
Yep.
None of that. It was like
What's
it was
the best
more
color
about
of cry
you,
pants?
about human performance, about and,
Mhm.
and people seem to actually dig it. So it's very cool.
Does this M-Lock match my flat darker?
Why is chemo really that bad?
What I was impressed by we only did 2 bits of live fire,
Right.
and one was a demo on silencers, and then we were demoing it because we were giving it away.
Yeah.
So a kid got a Q Erector 9mm can.
The comment is it Rob Pincus?
I will invite him if somebody knows how to get in touch with him.
He's gonna come with cops.
As long as he's coming here with cops and me not going to him with the cops.
Right.
That's fine. But then the other live fire part, we went total FUD and did shotgun. But then we did not do shotgun like it normally is done.
Right.
And people walked away going, I had no idea that was a doable thing. I'm like, oh, look at that. We slayed a sacred cow even when we went into the fun world.
Yeah.
Right. I was all proud of Zach for that. Zach, I know you were in here. Like, very happy that you did that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody after his block was saying things to me going, I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
Excluding Sonny's presentation, what was your favorite one? Not the most useful, like your favorite one.
Exclude your own too.
Yeah, you can't kind of. And I'm excluding Sonny's because he's sitting here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
going to ask him the same thing and exclude yours. So.
I'm torn because the other two presentations would be either Zach or Matt or Jerry.
Yeah.
So between those three, I have to pick Jerry's only because like the topics that he was going through were so resonant with me and like things that I do outside of the training world.
You are building the team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's team building, right?
Yeah.
And part of like that's a big thing for me. Like not necessarily in business, but like the whole bulletin thing is about building teams, selecting people, trying to get people connected to each other. So it resonated with me a lot.
The buy-in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting team buy-in and just getting everybody on the same page, like even setting up classes, hosting, trying to get trainers in one place, just everybody onto a same page. It really, that hit me hard. And I'm like, that was worth the price of admission alone. But Matt and Zach and, of course, Sonny too, like, everybody else was fantastic.
Yeah, I concur.
Someone said I tried push-ups on my knuckles this week. Cool. Now you only have to keep up for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Oh.
She told me to tell you, like, hey, tell Sonny that I did it on my knuckles this morning.
Perfect. Now make sure he does it with you together for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
He's like, well, when I get around to doing a push-up, it will be on my knuckles.
Yeah. Well, I can do like one, and then I gotta I'm still working on getting to a higher number on like real push-ups, but then I go to the knees and I could knock a few more out, but you got to start somewhere.
I used to do that when I had a pull-up bar in my doorway at my old house, that I would do as many pull-ups as I could. And when I couldn't get another one, then I'd start doing kipping pull-ups.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know these aren't as effective me swinging my legs, but it's either stop now or get 5 extra ones in. So I did the 5 extra ones. I get it. I think Scott with 1T is on. He is inside my brain and knows who I'm talking about.
He's wrong.
Have you figured it out now too? With his comment?
Is Mr. Instructor there?
Or maybe.
See, now you've engaged me with a bunch of other different questions, which is also something we learned from Sonny this week of like getting people off balance and not thinking about what they want to think about.
You think you know what you want to talk
Right,
about.
right. Because I said I was going to worry about it the rest of the live chat. Totally forgot. Like,
moved on.
Went into the ether.
Javier, that's awesome. He lost 38 pounds.
I know who it is.
That's who I'm going to ask.
Yes, I know exactly who it is. Yeah. Because he's also on my dream list too.
Yeah. Apparently your friend Scott has a testicular issue. But so I got your answer, Sonny. Excluding Mike and you, and Jerry now. No, just not you or Mike. What was your favorite?
Even without exclusions, I would go just because of the topic. I would go with what Matt was talking about.
Yep.
And it's not per se, that other presentations. It's really more of a topic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this industry, I'm watching, and you guys know that. It's, people buying new this and that, new whiz bang, new this, new whatever. Find the newest way to shoot, newest way to look around the corner. All the time eating shit.
Yep.
All the time not taking care of themselves. And the sad reality is, man, that it's most of us in this industry, myself included, most likely will not probably perish in the, glorious fire of resisting a criminal, a terrorist, or whatnot, but probably from something that's due to bad lifestyle, shitty eating habits, and things like that. So I think addressing what Matt was addressing is very, very important. I'm trying my best, not doing so good when I travel, but, to kind of live up to that and eat well and pay attention to things. But, myself being somewhat still fit and all that, I'm trying to push on people that, man, pay attention to that shit because, no matter what, it affects your quality of life. It really affects your quality of training. It does.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. You can say that no, man. It's not a big deal. It is.
Agreed. And not that I'm a walking example, but I certainly am a walking example of when you let it go the other way, the negative side effects.
Yeah.
But that I have from the day we met to today, I'm way less fit. And I certainly have been able to track those differences.
No, and
which
you know,
is why recently I've started working on turning those back around too.
You know, and the things that we love, you know, be it in some cases sugar or sweets, be it this or that, or a little bit too much nap and not enough workout, you know. When it's mentioned to us, it's like almost like a personal poke, like, hey, right? And then we'll get defensive about it, and you know, like we don't need to talk about that shit, right?
Yeah.
Yet we're doing the opposite to the people that are not skilled in violence, right? We actually point them out, hey, dude, address your suck.
Right.
And you go like, am I addressing my own?
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like there's topics that are too personal. Like,
there's hypocrisy.
Yeah,
right?
no, I can't go
So,
there. Like that's
yeah.
I'm too vulnerable to that.
Yeah.
But hey,
I need a safe space.
yeah. You not knowing how to shoot the target 15 feet over there while moving your feet. No, that's okay to call out on me. I know I suck there, but don't call me out for eating the pizza. That hurts. Yeah.
Well, I think that's why I chose that.
Yeah.
And I knew that would resonate with you, even though Matt didn't call anybody in that room a motherfucker or an asshole or nothing.
I actually coached Matt. I said, Matt, you're being too nice. You're being too soft. This is a topic that people need a little emotional strings pulled. Needs to be made a little bit personal, because why they may get offended a little bit at first, it resonates because the voice inside tells you, you know, he's fucking right.
Yeah.
He's fucking right.
Matt normally deals with people in the fitness industry, and they're a little softer in the mindset.
I get it. And you have new, you know, a lady coming in, you know, like for personal coach to lose the weight. You're not gonna go like, hey, bitch, you fucking you know, you can't do that. I get it.
Well, I just love the fact that Matt was like took a block of instruction, because I've only ever gotten to hang out with him as a fellow student, and seeing him up there, because I know he's prolific as a writer. He's got shit coming out every day. Post stuff on both of our, you know, alumni pages and the bulletin community and stuff. And he's like super smart and like really insightful and has, you know, a lot of different topics on things, but I'd never seen him like get out there and present to
and it's different.
And it was great. I loved seeing him in that role.
Yep.
You should do it more, Matt.
He had told me that he felt a little like the odd man out in the list. See, I was like, you're not as odd man out.
I feel the same.
That's how none of you guys should feel, because you're in the presence of people that have been teaching for many years, you know, and him and Jerry and myself and Jay, although he wasn't presenting or whatnot. Dude, this is shared stage. This is not some kind of a pecking order or any of that. You know what I mean? This is the stage.
Yeah,
we're blessed to have to share information.
None of the other presenters felt Matt was the odd man out.
No.
I didn't think anyone was an odd man out.
No, absolutely
not. But I certainly know in the industry where that's pervasive amongst some groups of people, and it's just those people you won't ever see at the muster. Like,
I would like to invite him for some personal encounters, but
I would like them to come and maybe get a different perspective and change how they
don't like different perspectives.
No.
Honestly, I don't think there could be a better thing. Like, okay, it may cause tension the day of, but there's so much of the bullshit in the world that we're like in the training world. Like, if people just get down off of the fucking ego horses and like extend a hand to each other, man, we could turn like connecting all these different groups of people from the different schools, from the different, you know, methodologies and philosophies. Like, we're all the same, but we put up these walls and like, no, fuck that dude because he follows Rob Pincus, or fuck these guys because they're part of tactical response. Like, it is so stupid.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I Shinde and I and Becker just signed up for a class with Orion Training Group, and like I follow what they talk about, and I was like, oh, it seems like there's some good stuff in there, but you know, it's Instagram. You get 45 seconds.
Yep.
Now, what the fuck? Someone's really talking about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But I read what they write, and they certainly preach the creed of a rising tide raises all ships. They don't shit talk other people's way of doing the things that they do. And when other people try to shit talk their way, they're very much like, hey, man, you know, there's different ways to get to the same spot. and we've got a route that we've been successful with, and you're more than welcome to come try it. They don't get all defensive. It's like, all right, fuck it, you've earned my money.
It's kind of like adult way of doing
Yeah.
shit, right? And you know, here's the thing, man. It's okay to disagree. I mean, shit, me and you do so many things differently.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we talk about it, or at the table, we talk about it here and there, or the phone, or whatnot. You know, and it's like it never becomes personal. You know what I mean? I don't say like, well, Gary's full of shit because that's how he does his one-handed draw because he moves his shirt in the opposite direction than I move my shirt.
It would be completely wrong. It's the opposite of right.
Know,
Yeah.
I have my reasoning. I present my reasoning. This is why I do it. It's not followed by, you know, I think Gary is a criminal and his family should die in a flaming car accident because of it. You know, that kind of shit, you know, the stuff that we see with so many people and, you know, going decades back and continuing and not stopping. So it was cool in the mustard to see, you know, in the industry that I often called out for being in a stage 3, you know, terminal stage, to see that almost like this little glimmer of, but there is a hope. There's this thing in development. There's this very promising drug. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, Scott. Always more than one way to skin the cat. That's been so in my own journey right now. Like, so with creating Bulletin, I've had this amazing opportunity to start kind of branching out a lot more to different trainers. And that's been the best part of the whole thing, like experiencing how other people think, how they do things, different methodologies, different principles of like approaching those methodologies. And I know this is getting a little heady, but like seeing where all those core things come from and seeing how they can split in different ways to think about them, different mindsets. It's been fascinating. And it's definitely helped me grow as like a teacher and as a student. And man, I think that's, you know, the more I do it, the more I realize that's the way. Like, okay, at a certain point, you're going to find your thing. But even when you find your thing, how many times have you changed something? Like,
well, you know what? If you stuck on your shit from 20 years ago and you're not evolving, that's not something to brag about.
Right.
No.
I always did it this way. You know what? You killed the value of discovery.
Right.
You know, there is no progress without it.
Yeah.
And so,
Like, and I think I have it in most of my class descriptions, or at least the welcome emails that said, if you have taken this class before, it is probably different this time. You will still get things from it that you did not hear me say the last time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're one of the biggest tinkerers I know. Even if it's something small or a big block of instruction, or just throwing the whole thing out.
That whole section
got to do this whole thing over again. Like, I think that's the healthiest way to approach the martial lifestyle, because like you find new things that just make it like, oh shit, can't believe I never did it that way before.
I'm an idiot.
I'm a fucking moron.
And now we're changing.
Yep.
And I've learned things from instructors who had terrible ego problems, personalities that said I shouldn't be in front of students, and said, okay, that was a good idea. I'm going to take that and see what I can do with it. And my promise to you is to not be the asshole that you were when I pass it on to someone else.
Yeah.
I'm not naming any names, but
I mean,
they're out there.
To be honest, you know, that's the other thing I've learned too, is like you can learn as much from the ones that show you what not to do. You know, like how to behave.
Sometimes it can be actually more valuable.
Yeah. Sometimes they're the same people. People that show you the way to do something that you're like, that's genius. And also at the same time can show you a way of
don't be this kind of dude.
Don't be this kind of douchebag.
Yeah.
And, you know, you realize that everyone's flawed and, you know.
Now, before anybody out there thinks that we're calling for kumbaya, peace, love, and understanding and all that stuff. No, it's perfectly fine when you see something and you disagree with it, explain why you disagree with it. Not calling it, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
That is not an argument. Make an argument. If a person does something, you go like, all right, I offer this option. This is how I do it. This is why. This is why I think this way is better. You know what? That adults can have healthy argument. It can be passionate. It can be fucking hot. But it doesn't become where I go like, I hate this guy because he ties his shoes different than I do.
Right.
It's that kind of fucking, you know, infant attitude where you go like, seriously, dudes? And this is the, you know, industry full of self-proclaimed alpha males with knuckle draggers with hard pasts. We acting like fucking, really, I've seen more, what do you call the snowflakes in this industry that I've seen in the, you know, in the extreme left movement with their little, you know, man buns and skinny jeans.
Yeah. I would even say that the conflict is essential. Like, Not the tribalism. While that can have some benefits, like that's what we fall into, and it's real easy for us to be like, this is my guy, and I believe in everything he does.
The
and
sense of belonging.
The sense of belonging, it can be strong, but it could also put up the walls. But that conflict is what drives the innovation.
Mhm.
You know, same thing with the academic world. You have people of different thoughts making arguments, papers, you know, addressing I think it should be a different way. We do the same thing, and seeing how some trainers or students address topics of different ways, that's what drives us to then come up with an argument to say this is the way.
I don't mind anybody telling me I don't like the way you do that if it's followed with the why.
Yeah,
because I'm super like I want to know the why. And
well, without a why, really, the what has no substance.
Yeah, I don't care if you don't like it.
Just making a statement, like we're talking in conflict, it's conflict management, right? Just making a statement does not resolve the issue.
Right.
If I'm doing it this way, explain it. You know, if you're doing it this way, explain it to me why, what benefits, what additional benefits it gives me versus my old way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I have some kind of working brain, I'm going to evaluate it, and if you are right, we're probably going to meet somewhere at least in between, or I'm probably going to be closer to your suggested solutions.
Right.
Because I figure if I got an 80% solution that I'm like, that's the best I can find, and somebody says that's stupid, okay, why? And they tell me, and I go, well, that's a 90% solution that they have.
Yep.
It looks like we're about to change some things up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, getting stuck in the old ways it's comforting. There's that. But
and comfort kills.
Yeah. You got to brutalize yourself, right?
That's right.
You got to reject comfort.
Yeah, but look, there's a recurring theme there, right?
Yeah,
brutalize yourself, not others.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I remember, and like for months, I was just mulling over this issue with a block of instruction I was teaching. There's actually a video on it that I was like, this is the way. Like, this is what I have found to be the best way. And I found a flaw in it, but I couldn't find the solution right away. So I worked at the solution. I was like, I may have one, but I need to collect some data. And so I collected data from some other instructors about how often they ran into certain problems, helped me kind of push me a direction. And then you came up here and I said, I'm glad I got to talk to you the day before, because I have this nagging thing, and tell me if I'm in the wrong spot here. And Sonny says, oh, that thing you were talking about, how the new way, that's how I do it. I was like, well, fuck, you could have saved me like a year of time had you just told me that a year ago.
Yeah, the malfunction clearing thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know what I mean? Because we know, a lot of people, the same people coming from certain ways that was hammered my way or the highway, right? And you tell them that the first step in that way is really not the data that they present is actually inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very how would I say, very optimistic numbers that
yes.
they use. You know, and then you try to present the logic, and they see the logic, but the how stuck they are to that group think, and but this is how they don't realize that they are of the mindset this is how we've always done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my least favorite answer to anything ever.
But I empathize with it though, because I feel it too. Like stepping out, like I took a Haley class last month, and I mean they approach things way differently than some of our circles. And
I know. I heard from
another student
from the private class that went there with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it off the screen about it.
But experiencing those differences, I was judgy, and I'm not proud of that. Because I have a foundation in certain schools. I teach with Gary. I try to embody certain principles. And when you're faced with these other things, you have this guttural reaction of, that's not okay. But then you have to sit there. You have to digest it. You have to understand where they're coming from, and then understanding where the principles that drive the approaches, you start to kind of get a better understanding of the whole thing.
You might find something that you had never thought about. Like, oh, they do it like that for this reason. I didn't think about that reason ever.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'm not a gear whore, and I'm not saying you guys are, but you dwell in gear a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Well, you've seen my office.
Yeah, and I come up here and I look at a couple of very simple solutions. I wasn't even aware that shit is in existence, and I'm like, well, that little $15 doodad resolves my whole issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so gear can offer a fucking solution. You
Yep.
know what I mean? But I'm being almost religiously rejecting of gear-based
Yeah.
solutions. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I can do it instead of the gear doing it for me.
I don't need a special piece of gear.
I sometimes step into that shit where I go like, hey, you ignorant fuck. Sometimes take a look at people, people that produce items, and those people, believe it or not, they're smart. Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of items catch a lot of momentum. And I'm like, what are they solving with it? Why is everyone buying this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I showed you one yesterday about the AK ejection magazine thing, right? That's the size of a fucking spatula. And I go like, that's great. That's the thing that gets rid of the magazine in your rifle, right in the middle of the side of a spatula.
If anything gets near this, I will have no bullets. Awesome.
Awesome. I like this. Can I have 2 of them, please? Oh, so once someone asked about prior to Thomas Hollidays about the shock cord, right?
Oh yes, that's they said what's the I like it, Sonny doesn't.
Yeah. Is there really a disagreement, right? Is a disagreement?
I guess it is.
It is, and we haven't actually. Me and Gary haven't even addressed it.
We
yet,
haven't.
And we will. I mean, shit. I have my reasons, and it's based on how I teach and what I focus in training. I know you teach transitions of the weapons, but in my training, transitioning is absolutely fundamental skill, and to me, belonging to that flashlight via the lanyard, it limits my ability to transition because I have to transition both light and the weapon if I have to.
Yep.
So now when this belongs to my hand, when I opening the hand here to put the flashlight in, how the fuck I'm going to peel off that lanyard to release the flashlight? That is my beef. Now, when I'm working outside with the flashlight and the pistol, for whatever reason I would work outside with the flashlight and pistol, not the rifle, right? I have no problem because outside I really don't have to transition. I don't have to clear corners. I don't have to work around.
Yeah.
So this is really more of like a sling issue, right? For me, for indoors, I do not like belonging to things because they have to move quickly between my hands or between my hands and my opponent's teeth. I don't like that shit stuck to me. That is my reasoning. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, so you hate language. No, I didn't explain myself that outdoors I have absolutely no problem. So I'm not opponent of having it. It's just in the situations that I do most training about, which is CQB environment.
It's not, you wouldn't use
It's not the ideal solution because of what I preach, what I propagate, which is constant work with transitioning the weapon based on the corners.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. And it's funny, like I almost hate myself for liking them because I know your methodology, like your principles.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a crutch, but it's a crutch that's easy for me to have on the thing. So I can attach that to my hand so I can do other stuff and like allow myself to drop the mental fatigue of like, I need to hold on to this flashlight, switch it to another hand.
See, so in a situation like outdoors, right, I need to grab something from my storage unit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because I still have the light on, I have to put it in my fucking mouth and hold it or between my legs, and burn my balls with that 1200 lumen light and all that stuff, right? Now it becomes not a crutch. Now it becomes a solution to an issue, right?
Yeah.
So it may kill you indoors. It may save you outdoors. Funny how it works, right?
Yeah. And there's the best part about it is even this discussion highlights what we were talking about before. There's no definitive answer. There's only a principle that you go by.
And then a lot of it depends.
Yeah, and a lot of depends.
You heard me saying the violence, there's only one absolute, and that's the nuclear bomb up someone's ass.
Yeah.
And you better be far away.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the sling thing because that's been a hot topic recently. Mostly thanks to Tom bringing the attention to it that it obviously deserves. And I've thrown some shade out there, not directed at anyone, but some of the folks who are like, oh, well, this, the reason that we don't shoot left-handed when we do fill in the blank, the sling doesn't allow you to do the whatever, and you got to have a sling. And I had decided that they were married to the idea of the sling because they were so bad at shooting left-handed, they had a reason now not to shoot left-handed. And I left it out there waiting for someone to like accept the gauntlet that I threw down, but nobody has picked it up and said, "I'll fucking show you how to shoot left-handed."
Nobody bought it yet?
No, not yet.
Damn.
And it was a a semi-strategic on purpose challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like my true belief that if you rock the sling all the time, you can't shoot left-handed. Those don't even seem to make sense saying that. But I left it out there for folks, hoping that they would pick it up and slap me across the face with the glove. Nothing.
No,
So
man,
far, nothing.
Here's the problem: when you really put out, when you wrap your shit in logos, logic, willfully ignorant really don't have much to say, other than go like, "Oh, so this is the guy who shot somebody 11 years ago." You know what I mean? It becomes ad hominem. That's all they fucking have at that point. Oh, so this is the guy who worked for James Yeager. Yeah, sure, I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, or this is the guy who looks this way, or this is the guy who likes, System of a Down. Really?
Yeah.
Anyone who listens to System of a Down is an idiot.
Yeah, they don't know nothing.
Listening. This is the level.
Yes.
This is the level.
The ad hominem attacks are absolutely super prominent. You can't attack the idea, attack the person.
Of course.
You are correct, RJ. I did teach you to go hand to hand with a sling.
But a lot of the instruction in that class is get that thing, like if you need to take that off, fucking do it.
Just take the fucking thing off and let it hang.
Don't use it to the detriment of what you need to do.
And, I used to be a big fan. Well, tighten that thing up, tape it to the stock, and just leave it there. If you ever, then when you need to pick something up or you need two hands, then go ahead and throw the sling on. And then some genius, I don't remember who it was, but it was a genius, I'm sure, came up with the sling duber, available for $19.99 on TremosDynamics.com.
Shameless plug.
Tom, would you like to come out to the next year's muster and give a block of on sling use?
Actually, Tom can come
or
up.
on something.
Anything.
Tom actually has a very interesting program. It's I was kind of privy to when he was developing it. It's called BBB, Bedroom Bullshit Bureau.
Oh.
It's literally self-defense next to your bed when someone kicks in the door. It's really interesting. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he can put together like an hour block at least, theoretically explain and go over some stuff, and maybe that would get some people interested because it's, not because I wasn't involved in developing it, but Tom was asking a lot of questions. He's a student.
You watched the development.
He's not just instructor, he's a student, so he's like, hey, what you think about that? And then we'll take like a critical look and go like, oh, that sounds good. So Mr. Hollaby, I know it's far trip from you from Washington State, but maybe somehow it can happen and you come to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, maybe one of those classes around the muster can be Earth Pistol or Earth Rifle. I think that's how he names his classes.
Yeah.
You can find them on Bullet.
The only thing I have to warn you about, you will never ever gonna hear the end of fucking Musashi quotes.
Oh, that's okay.
He talks about Musashi more than I talk about Jesus.
Wow,
it's that bad.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I follow a couple Musashi quote Instagram pages, so I see a couple every day anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm all right hearing them. Wait, does he quote him in Musashi's native language? Because
I don't think he even speaks Japanese.
Because that would do me no good. I would not.
No, Tom doesn't speak Japanese. So no, he does it in English, but then he tries to make the movie Japanese voice.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have to say the mustache thing. I have a hard time focusing on what he's saying because I'm so enthralled with how he keeps that thing in that shape.
Well, I mean, shit.
I have to watch it twice.
Chris Green, remember?
Oh yeah,
he used to do the same shit, but it's just on Asian face. It does have that extra kick to it.
It does.
Scott, you could all bring down the muster down south. Well,
I think it would probably though be easier for one guy from the south to come here than for us to drag everything from here down there.
I think muster has to be in the place where the person who organizes it. It should not become a traveling circus.
Oh, I'd never be able to organize it somewhere else.
It'd be, but Scott knows that he has a place to stay any day of the year at my house because he's like one of my oldest friends. So, good excuse to come see your niece, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had guys drive up from Florida, from Texas.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how far south he is, but those are pretty
It
far
cannot
south.
be much further than Florida.
Quite frankly, where he is, you don't want to stay there anyway. I mean, who wants to be in Memphis?
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Memphis, that's like half a day drive.
Yeah. You could walk here.
Yeah. Tom says he can have together a 1 hour block.
Lisa's cooking is good. I will say.
Cool.
Max traveled all the way from PA.
He did.
He did.
He did.
Farther than I did. That's a trek.
I probably had the closest travel.
Yeah.
So we won't get into that dick measuring contest. Well, like most of them, mine's still the shortest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dudes came from Florida, but John did not.
He didn't.
He did not.
No.
He had an invite.
He did,
He
right?
did have an invite, yep.
And he's probably, I mean, we're big fans of his.
Yeah.
The gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the Viceroy rig. TM.
Someday he'll name
Yeah,
a rig that.
someday,
But maybe
some,
not.
someday one other person will at least refer to it that way. But
Right.
I guess to finally answer the third question in that trilogy that we had was, what was my favorite block?
I was
of
just
Yes.
going to ask you, sir.
excluding both of
Yes.
yours.
Yeah.
So as not to play favoritism. So I guess to give equal due, I'm going to have to say Zach so that everybody gets a vote. But fact is, I was there in the beginning of Zach developing that particular block of instruction a year and a half ago, and was also going, I had no fucking idea. Like, I had no clue that could be done. And so I'll say that to not hurt feelings that I'm picking Zach so that his feelings didn't get hurt. But fact is that I didn't even go see it because I had seen it in the beginning. And I thought it was fucking awesome because somebody slayed one of the cows that I had known from the time I was this big. When I first heard of what, my granddaddy's lever gun and this pump action shotgun, that's all you need. 2 world wars, whatever.
Yep.
I was like, oh, well, this is a truth. And went, oh, no, it's not.
If it's beyond 25 yards.
And you guys know how I am about taking a preconceived truth and just crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of walking away going, yep, we broke another one.
Yeah. Well, everybody's here, I see, talking about, that people have arrangements, people didn't know early enough and all that. I guess you better announce the date for the next year ASAP. That way nobody can throw at your face like, well, I didn't know it's happening.
I didn't know.
True.
No, guys, really, if with almost years advance notice, you cannot make plans. And I get it. There are exceptions. I mean, if that date coincides with something very important in your family.
I'm getting married that weekend.
Yeah, that kind of gives me a legit excuse.
And it's one day. Like you missed, like you got one thing going on that just happens to land on that day. There's no others for another 365. It's tough.
Yeah, and those who can, I mean, definitely with classes around, and it's not just because I don't even know if I'm going to be here next year, depending on the dates and all. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But anyone else who teaches, considering that, people that are in the circle, make it a worthwhile trip if you're coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Sign up for some classes.
Look at the people that traveled here. If they're going to do some stuff before and after it, that might be your only chance to get in and get all of that.
Yeah.
And I can say that for next year's muster, if you're looking for classes in the area, while there may be some communications coming from the Tremis side, there is a website where you can see all the classes in that area that will be there. And it's bulletin.net, shameless plug.
We should make a category. I don't know what to call it. Just came up with it right now on top of my head. Like that, these classes are muster adjacent.
Oh yeah.
That these are the ones that
that's
are
actually a good idea.
Yeah.
They are week prior and week after the muster.
Yep. And these are the ones. This is your smorgasbord.
Yep.
And like I'm shooting for first weekend in August, just to keep some sort of rhythm going. And nobody hated this weekend. but I can't promise that that's when it's going to be until after I go reserve the dates, which I can't do until the third Thursday of the month. So,
Yeah.
But in your head, start picking that as a likely time frame.
Mr. Hollaby is offering collaboration classes.
Mm.
Remember we talked about something?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I'm still in your house until tomorrow, so
we'll have
these folks put up with me for a week. I've been here since last Thursday, so
it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I've been pretty tickled by it.
Klaus even warmed up to him finally.
I know he tried to murder me first day. Well, he wasn't brave enough to murder me, but there was a murder in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounded like there was going to be murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the German Shepherd, there definitely seemed to be some deep-seated old grudges against the Russian.
And he finally got over it. Then he moved on and said, now I'm going to bark at Jerry. Him and Jerry have been tight since he was a puppy.
Also, Jerry's like the dog whisperer.
Well, then he moved on to bark at Jay.
Yeah. Oh.
And then he got over that too.
Yeah.
And
While licking my face, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then everybody left, and I'm the only one left here. And I come in from the class today, and he barks at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
He barked at me today too.
Yeah.
Because I accidentally touched the doorknob without,
without just opening it.
Without opening it.
Oh, Colt and Lars coming to the fish class in Paducah. That's what it sounds like.
Nice.
Nice.
The ammo cost for that, very small.
Mm-hmm.
Ink cost, very high.
Yeah.
Lots of those.
A lot of notes.
And have some quarters to wash your clothes too.
Yeah. Or just throw them away when you're done.
It's not.
Or yeah, well.
Or buy a new T-shirt,
Yeah, I know where there's some for sale.
See, we're learning in the kind of savage ways the commerce, how to inject it so invisibly, no one even detects it.
Right.
They didn't even know they were being sold.
They don't even know.
So sly.
We're smooth, man.
I am absolutely not good at marketing things. And then my colleagues in the training field and I talk and I go, wow, they're really bad. It doesn't make me feel good. It just makes me go, they're not good at this.
I know I win this contest.
I know somebody worse at marketing themselves than you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. He was here all week.
Oh, well, that guy's pretty bad. I know someone worse than him.
Oh.
Aaron Little.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Little will say the greatest things about everybody else in the world and never once mention that he has a product that he's trying to sell.
Yep.
Which is a shame because everything he says is worth listening to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the next coming of Jesus. He would not like that if I said that anyway. But I like hearing Aaron talk.
No, his brain, he has a sharp brain.
Yeah.
A sharp mind.
And he will not. I don't know if it's like a guilt thing. Like I can't try and pitch my stuff. Yeah. I wish you would.
No, I mean, for some people, there is that barrier to step over. You go like, now it becomes shameless commercialism.
Yeah.
And it's legit.
Hey, they're in this industry too.
I know.
The shameless commercialism.
Mm.
Well, we see plenty of that shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
I bought some of it.
Those DVDs are really good. Like they're produced so well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you were talking about. But...
many things are running through my head. Oh, let me ask you a question, Gary.
Yeah.
Being that you put something on us, what'd you think? I mean, this is gonna be a terrible on the spot thing. What'd you think of conflict resolution, the science and art of de-escalation?
Oh,
because we had it was a huge pleasure to not only get the muster, and I know you did a bunch of days of training beforehand, but I loved class on Sunday.
I loved it. I loved the different take than what you normally see from other folks who delve into some level of conflict resolution. And I'm not going to throw any names out here because the fucking internet will go stupid over it. But there are other instructors with big names who I respect, who broach similar subjects, but they may broach it of, hey, that's a bad guy, and you're going to have to de-escalate, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll determine, if there's other skills we're going to use if it doesn't work. But that's kind of the narrow focus that it is. And Sonny's class was not that focus at all. like you could take the things from that and just use it to have a better marriage. And I was like, oh, this is such a more broad way to use these skills than what I normally see in de-escalation portions of classes.
Mm-hmm.
As we talked about it, a lot of few programs that have a portion or part of the class focusing on that. I guess you can say it's to me it always seemed like it's not even per se de-escalation. It's delay.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some time.
It's a delay, or it's almost I'm gonna try to pretend that I have authority just as I had when I was police officer.
Yeah.
And tell you what to do, and hopefully you'll listen, and that means de-escalate if you didn't have to shoot at each other, right? And I was looking at it, I'm like, it's really similar to like guys coming from the teams putting in the team mentality into civilian doing shit without the team present. I mean, I don't have that authority,
Right?
so I had to take kind of a different angle and look at it and go like, all right, well, do I really want to de-escalate, or am I just delaying to prepare my muscles to do a warm-up, roll my shoulders? Okay, I'm not stretched before the fight. I do my Bruce Lee stretches while I talk shit, and now we can fight. Right?
Yeah, my draw is 1.2 seconds. How do I buy myself 1.2 seconds?
1.3, preferably.
Take it easy, Zach.
I wrote up an AAR yesterday for the class on Sunday, and I thought it really helped me kind of solidify to like find my man. There was so much stuff swimming through my head, like from techniques and tools, and then like methodology of listening versus whatever. But like tying it all together to your point, like the thing that I found most useful was like relating conflict resolution to similar things that we've learned before, like OODA loop, or I believe the key term that you used was initiative, which I also resonated with a lot because I'm a big D&D nerd. But I was like, yes, that is the thing, because we always react. We always take the reaction to things, and that one kind of methodology of, all right, well, find the way to insert yourself in, to put them on the back foot, to start asking questions, to start, moving the conversation in a forget where it goes, but not in the line of attack that they are choosing.
Yeah.
Get them broken from that, and then you can start moving. Then you can insert yourself and kind of push things in the way that you hope, or maybe it goes the wrong way. You can steer it, and
we're still trained. We're still trained if that fails.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we also learned a very valuable lesson, or I learned a very valuable lesson, that I cannot act. This is the role you're going to play. Okay. Partway through that, all right, ceasefire. You, Gary, stop egging Jerry on.
I don't think it was about you not being able to act. It was because it was Jerry.
I was like, I can't help myself. I'm just being me here.
Yeah, you were just pushing his buttons.
Yeah.
Which was good, which was fun.
I mean, I think it was a great class because, like, first off, where else are you going to have a class led by a great mind with 3 amazing experienced trainers in it, and then filled with a bunch of awesome students? Like, it was like the perfect storm of an awesome day of learning.
It was a very rare scenario to see in the same scenario Jay, Jerry, and Gary at the same table, and there's the conflict going on. Right? I'm watching this. I'm like, this is awesome, man. Yeah. This is cool.
I'll pat myself on the back for suggesting that.
Yeah.
Oh,
the instructors were like, okay, well, let's have them come up with a scenario. So we had some students in the scenario, and then at the end of that, we were like, okay, so how else would we approach it? And I went, well, why don't we have the 3 guys that made the scenario get in it? Oh. And that was probably a highlight of my day right there.
Scott, the class was conflict management. There might have been more words to that.
It's conflict management.
So a lot of times you have a tagline tied into that too.
This tagline doesn't matter. It's conflict management.
Yeah.
And it was up here in Danville, in a bar attached to a brewery,
which was awesome.
Scott, knowing your chosen profession, sir, and how often people in that profession don't get this type of training, you should take it. Like 100%. Like far more than like okay, higher level than firearms training is medical. Because you may need to use that medical training outside of a violent encounter.
Yep.
Far more even than the medical, I put the conflict resolution training or de-escalation, because that can be used every single day.
You may, if you use that, you may not to use neither your firearm skills nor medical.
Right.
What goes wrong?
It's the first order. Like if you mess that up, there's a cascade of ill effects. But
Yep.
if you can manage that, you get to save yourself a whole shit ton of anguish down the line.
Someone is asking, are the guns in the back real? Let me check.
Well, they're not painted on the wall.
Yep, they are real. And
You see-
I can tell you that loaded.
I for you wanted to make sure that we had a good representation.
I saw that at first. It was just an AR sitting here. I'm like, this is. I feel like
Underrepresented.
oppressed.
Oh,
Oppressed.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I went down 2 flights of stairs for you, my friend.
Thank you so much. You could have asked me to bring my AK from the room right next door here,
that probably would have been a lot easier.
but that's okay. I know it would have not fit in with the camouflage paint and all that. Mine looks kind of savage. This is aesthetics.
I have a
get it.
certain aesthetic. That
Yes.
That he achieves.
we actually
Aesthetic
talked
touch.
about that when Mike was helping me put the lighting up, and he said, "That doesn't bother you that magazine's not painted?" I said, "I have some painted ones here somewhere." Stoner rifles are terrible. I believe the Stoner 63A is a pretty awesome rifle. That would be belt fed, and like that usually makes things awesome. So, doesn't Tom have a Stoner rifle tattooed on him? Doesn't he have like matching rifles on his forearm?
Tom Halby, yeah.
Okay. So, Bob, when he's throwing a shade on them, I just want to make sure that I knew where we were going. Sorry, and I know a dude with the HK tattoo on him who has come to not or to regret.
Maybe before I die, just before I die, if I know what I'm dying, I'm gonna tattoo like what like really offend people.
Like us people or like normies?
Us people. Like
Oh.
XD crossed with
High point.
Ooh,
hypo than XD crossed.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
Oh, he tattooed that before he broke 300.
Well, if we go with it's no good after I broke 3 of them, I'm going to have a lot of limited suggestions for guns to use. I broke a lot of everything.
Yeah.
I know Calvin. He breaks things by looking at them.
Well, again,
Yep. That's them.
Holy shit.
We get something new in Calvin, like, Mr. Gary, can I take a look at that? No. In fact, you're not
don't even glance at it.
You look the other way. Well, fellas, I think we are well over our hour bookmark that I set for having a live chat.
Oh yeah, this is what happens whenever we're here.
Oh yeah, once more people get involved, it's easy to go over time. But I don't want to be here for 17 hours. And Sonny, I have some things to talk about that Tom reminded us that we hadn't yet chatted about.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's more than welcome to have that conversation here with us as well. So
Yeah, and I have to get some rest. I'm starting the class tomorrow at 8.
yeah,
True.
And then I have to drive to Ohio after the class for the next 3 days of training. So, yeah.
busy.
Yeah, where can they find information about your class? If they-
Nice commercial break.
Yeah.
SonnyPuzikas.com.
Right.
It's easy.
That's a good place.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah.
Uh,
Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome, sir.
No, don't go. But can he call you anytime? and
He
talk
does
to you?
call me all the
Fair
time.
enough.
My favorite things are when he calls me when he's responding to calls. I mean, no, he doesn't do this, but
that would be.
but like hearing things in the background that are really interesting, tense
Yeah.
situations. It's almost like conflict management training.
Cool.
Are those gunshots? No.
I'm on my way.
So I don't know the next time the three of us will sit and do a live chat, but we can do
Digital.
remote
Yeah,
live chats.
absolutely.
And maybe that will
I'm gonna have
something.
I'm gonna have to have a whole separate manual how to make it work. So yeah.
Well, that's what
Work
Mike's
on
for.
it. Yeah.
I'm the IT guy.
Yep.
I accept my role.
Art, IT, logistics.
Soft skills.
Yeah.
We'll just-
Dwarf Whisperer.
Yeah, I've been known to do that from time to time.
Mike is my voice of reason. When I'm about to lose my shit, Mike has a
calming
talent
calming effect.
Mhm. Doesn't always work,
No,
but sometimes it does. I knew it was a thing when my wife was like, maybe you should answer Mike's call. He's tried 3 times. They're
Why would
colluding.
Mike call me 3 times?
Sounds
She's
like
getting serious.
that if they are doing that there is some collusion. I forgot I had that set up for this.
Collusion. Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know when the next time we'll all be together, but we'll do some things and we'll integrate Sonny into some more live chats, maybe with some sort of plan with a topic and whatnot. Those might be good.
Yep.
And what I'd like to do, you all let me know at some point either in the comments here or somewhere in the socials, if you'd like to see some more of these, maybe with the other folks that were at the muster as well.
Yep.
Jerry, Jay, Matt. I've already done some with Zach, and I'll continue to do them. Obviously, I've done them with both you guys. So
Yep.
if you guys would like that, let us know. And maybe if I'm better organized next year, the new presenters that we add into the mix, so we'll rotate some out, rotate some in. Maybe I'll get them on beforehand, which I wanted to do this time, but I'm not the most organized.
Yeah. I just want somebody to build that wall in my house.
I built that wall, and I'm not even a carpenter.
I think most men can build this wall.
It's made out of pallets.
Yep.
But the stain job is next level.
Staining is pretty
It's
good.
pretty. I like
Staining is
the
pretty
aesthetics are really nice.
I worked a while at it.
John says we need to all go down to Florida together. Well, 2/3 of that might be happening.
I'm coming to Florida. You know that, John. I'm trying to drag Mike with me. So
I have a class in Florida in March.
And Sonny will be there a couple months afterwards.
So
About an hour from your house, I do believe.
we're both going to be at the same place at
So
Aries.
just an hour north of Orlando.
You have classes in
Yeah.
Ohio coming up. What else? And you said you got something in Florida later in the year in March. Any
Well,
other
that'd be
big
Next year.
next
That would be
year?
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be in Ohio Friday, Saturday, Sunday, teaching there. And then I'm driving back to Texas. I have a few classes in Texas. Then in November, we haven't finalized yet, but I think it's set. I'm going to Indiana again for 4 days, including full day of conflict management.
Oh, nice.
And that will be my last trip for this year.
And I'm going to try and help you get those up on Bulletin too.
I know we already talked about it, and I will reach out.
So
to
you guys can find them all.
Yeah.
And we've got Florida coming up.
Florida, Tennessee, and one trip. And then Texas, Montana, and another trip.
Right.
And then I'm back to Texas in December.
Yeah.
It's like you like Texas or something.
Well, it does make it real easy to train in the 6 months a year where there's snow here.
Right.
That part's beneficial. Although there are the few months in the middle where you all seem to try to escape to come teach other places.
This being right now. Because
Yep.
I look at the weather, like during the class today, guys were going, man, in the sun, it's hot here. Pull up the weather channel 105 at home, and I'm like, we can go back to East Texas and do some training there. So,
And just to throw out some plugs for the other guys that were at the muster, Zach's got his shotgun class coming up next month in September. One day here in PA. Jay Gibson, Prelectus Training, has a ton of classes coming up. Some here in this month. He's got some another one coming up in September, and then he's got the 2 big classes coming up in November here in Pennsylvania, as well as stuff in Georgia and Florida. So all those guys that we've been kind of gushing on tonight, you have opportunities to learn with all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're getting Jerry up here. I just don't know when, what, how, why.
Any chance we can.
Yep, we'll get him up here too.
Jerry, with everything that he has to deal with, it's also have to kind of do some wiggling.
But we'll get him here too. So, and that was the whole point of the muster. I wanted to get those people in front of our people, the locals, and drum up some interest both ways so that we can and get more people getting the good training.
Yep.
So
That's what we're all about.
awesome.
Cool.
So I guess with that, we're gonna pop smoke, ask for a hot exfil. I don't know what other terms people use to make it sound cool. Smash that something button.
You
I
know,
don't-
tickle the subscribe nipple.
Oh,
Whoa,
that's a new one. I
that's
like
a
that.
nice, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually heard that before.
Oh.
That's a new one.
I'm gonna have to
Might
come up. I'm gonna have to come up with a clitoral reference in there somewhere.
That was the clitoral reference, but yeah.
Well, I'm going deeper than a nipple.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Ooh, we're lower. South, more south. Anyhow, you all take it easy out there, and I'll see you next Wednesday, and you'll see these guys as you see them. Sonny does a bunch of stuff on his own too, live stuff. Like I've seen it a bunch. So
Oh yeah.
Every now and then.
every now and then. All right, take it easy, everybody.
Later, guys.